Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market and the markets in general. If you just landed here, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, be greatly appreciated. Here's the deal, guys. PPI report came in a little bit hot. The inflation is based on the data that the Fed's going to look at. It's not coming down as much as they'd like to see, and also two is that people aren't losing their jobs yet. And that's what they want to see to control the inflation, guys. So that's the reality of it. Bitcoin is too big of an asset for buyers to start stepping up to the plate. They're waiting for probably the signal of the Fed pause before that is going to happen. That's kind of unfortunate for the cryptocurrency market. That's why it's going to be more attached to the S&P 500 and the other bigger markets. So, like I said, if it was probably just everything else minus Bitcoin, cryptocurrency market probably be bullish, just because it doesn't take as many dollars or buyers to start moving those assets. As you probably can tell, that there are some bullish assets right now in the cryptocurrency market. Name a couple: Caspa, Trust Wallet. I can think of, or two that I think of off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do is go over Bitcoin and some other assets, including Chili's, Phantom, Matic, probably Quant, and maybe even Dogecoin, that over the next couple months, you're going to want to really prepare yourself and get ready to potentially buy the dip. Now, the question is going to be what's going to happen after the Fed pauses, and when is the Fed going to pause? Right now, just looking at the data and everything that's going on with Bitcoin, and based on the market sentiment and what the Fed's projecting it's going to do with a 50-point rate hike in December. There'll be another meeting in February. Is that going to be 50? Probably so. And then is there going to be another one after that? Possibly two, because they want to get the rates above 5%, I think is what they said. So where's that going to end? That could lead us into a wait and a pretty boring market between now and then. So we're looking at, realistically, we could be looking at January as the earliest. And then it could be as late as March or April, guys. So we could be in for a little bit of a wait. I hope it gets done sooner rather than later. That's my position on it. The other thing is too, those that follow my channel, you realize time is a big important of corrections for assets too. So you can have price capitulation, and then there's also the time aspect of it. And I already can see that just based off the data on YouTube channels and the lack of people are watching channels, that they are just getting bored out of the market. They're tired of waiting, which is a form of capitulation too, guys. Just being bored out of the market. The price, looking for a drop in price necessarily is not, it is a form of capitulation on price, but it's the time too. Just getting bored out of the market. People can't make money. They're sick of just waiting. They just go somewhere else. So it's more that depression phase of you see that chart. There's a chart out there. It talks about from the markets go down and people get depressed and stuff like that. And we're probably in that phase, in my opinion. So we're definitely near the bottom on Bitcoin, closer to the bottom than we are the top. But I think we're actually have entered into the depression phase where people are going to get bored out of the market and sick of it and sick and tired of waiting anymore. So with that said, I do think that Bitcoin is going to have another drop. All the signals are pointing towards what Bitcoin is doing right now is not strong. Even though it's going up, it's not a strong bullish move. Just looking at the data, the moves that Bitcoin's doing, you could say that there's a potential there with Bitcoin, though. Like as an example, if I take it off log and I take my trend line like so from this top, I think something like just like this on the price action, you can see that, there's potentially it could break that trend and go over there. That would be a breach of the bearish cycle. So it's actually a lot closer than people realize right now. Bitcoin is. So just looking at data like that, and also in the RSI, you can see that too. So there's some other data. Just looking at it is here on the weekly, or let me go to a daily chart that you might see some is a falling wedge. Okay, which is true. It's making a if you will, wedge type pattern coming down like so. Up and then back down to here, or maybe go up here and back down to here, guys. So that is a pattern. This is your typical pattern that you look for on smaller cryptos. This is on a larger scale with Bitcoin, so it would take a lot more time, but this is something I look for in smaller cryptos. I think a good example of this is a coin you can look at right now. It's called AIOZ. It's doing the similar type thing, just on a smaller scale. It's coming down into this descending wedge, which is a bullish structure. So there's lots of bullish signals definitely telling us Bitcoin is coming to a bottom. I think right now you're going to have to be more patient with this and plan accordingly. So the question is, what am I doing? Right now, what I'm doing is I am for the most part in the crypto market, sitting on my hands and not doing much of anything and just looking for opportunities in some smaller cap cryptos, taking a little bit more risk. I understand that, maybe liquidity issues in some of those cryptos, and looking at them like maybe Caspa or an Amplify as an example, and just set my stop losses or have my point of no return on a price on a coin as an example, and just get out of it if it goes sour. But that's what I'm doing. Right now is a time where you probably, since there's obviously in a bear cycle, you want to use less money. So in a bullish cycle, if you're throwing in $10,000 into a trade or $9,000 into a trade, right now you want to use a lot less, not put as much on the table. So that's what I'm doing. You're not going to make as much money. Then again, you're not going to lose as much money if you're going to be doing that. If you don't want to do anything like that and go through the stress, and you're here, obviously your best option could be just wait. There's nothing wrong with waiting. Okay. That's a very, very good strategy too, because those that have the capital to be able to deploy it at the right time when things bottom, okay, and it's going to go in a next bullish cycle, you'll be able to make a ton of gains. And I do think here sometime in 2023 with the crypto market, you're going to be able to make significant gains, 3x, 5x, potentially even more, depending on how all this is going to play out. So the Fed with the PPI report more than likely is going to keep rates high. Okay. So I'm going to go back to an example over here at the Fed. Fed did a pause and Bitcoin was able to make that move. Is Bitcoin going to make a move as significant as this? What was this? About 300%. Let's see. Let's say Bitcoin bottoms at 13,000 and a 300% move is up to 58. That's a good question. It could, probably not. Probably not. I would probably say maybe 200% would be a little bit more realistic, guys. I wouldn't be counting on moves like that. 200%, you're looking at 38, 40,000 or something like that. So that's probably going to be a little bit more realistic in my opinion, and not a move as significant as this over here. So with the Fed, once it pauses, that's going to be the move for Bitcoin more than likely, or in that area. I'm not going to say, look, here's the deal. If the Fed pauses, let's just pick a date, a random date out of it. Let's say the Fed pauses on March 15th. They announce it. They're going to pause. They're not going to raise rates anymore, and they're just going to keep them at that level on March 15th, right? That doesn't mean on March 15th that Bitcoin starts doing a moonshot. Okay. It could be before it, 2 weeks before, 45 days before, or 30 days after, or something like that. Okay. So it could be something like that in that general area, or Bitcoin could start earlier in January as an example, or maybe even at the end of the month. We just don't know yet. Okay. I just think there's going to be another significant drop. Now, here's the other thing is too, everything looks really, really good. I'm going to a weekly chart on Bitcoin. Okay. Now with this box that I have down here, there's some calling for an $8,000 Bitcoin and lower prices. And the theory is that's just a cheap price and that's such a good deal. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. If Bitcoin is down in these areas, guys, that's going to be a significant problem, in my opinion. Okay. Um, I'm going to want to see evidence. If Bitcoin is down there, I'm going to see evidence that Bitcoin is attempting to go bullish. I think it will be down there for a period of time. And that's a serious break in the bullish structure. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I want to see Bitcoin, if it's going to do anything, stay above this 10,000. Okay. Which I think that it will, but you don't want to see it down here. You just don't want to see. You can see with this structure on Bitcoin, how this move up here and then it's coming down and breaking the whole structure. And you can see previously it didn't do anything like that. That would be something. This is new. This isn't new yet, but that would be new on the breaking of the structure. Okay. Even though Bitcoin can go all the way down to 3,100 and still maintain a bullish structure. But the issue is I have with it down here is you have long-term bag holders, okay, from over here in this area, a lot of them, and they're going to possibly, are they going to capitulate? That would be my question with Bitcoin, okay? So right now, what am I looking for? Is it could go up, probably trend up, waste more time, and then maybe see another trek down on Bitcoin, guys. Right now, the area that I'm looking for is about 14,000 to 13,800. Okay. So another 20% and potentially 24% drop, something like that from this structure. Okay. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's finished there. I don't think so, but it could be finished there. It just remains to be seen. It does have a lot of bullish signals. It actually doesn't look that bad as far as finding a bottom right now. It really, really doesn't, guys. So let's go over some other assets and relate this to Bitcoin and what's going on. Like, let's see, Matic. You're looking at Matic. So Matic is still in this area on the trend. And Matic still looks pretty decent. If you can see over here, this whole wave looks very similar to this wave, and then you could have a drop down a little bit more for Matic, and then it'll finish its sequence over there, guys. So Matic will bring in some opportunities if it does something like that and be able to hit this wave up here. Okay, so plan accordingly with that. Could Matic hold on to that? I think it's going to just matter with Bitcoin. What is it going to do? How significant of a drop? So there could be some opportunities with Matic, in my opinion. Dogecoin, a lot of people are pretty hyped about Dogecoin. And actually, to be honest with you guys, I'm pretty hyped about Dogecoin too, because I think in the next little blast for Dogecoin is going to be probably somewhere near $1. And, if Dogecoin makes it down to 7 cents, you're looking at, maybe a good 10x move on Dogecoin, guys. The pattern to me with Dogecoin is pretty obvious with this wave sequence it has here, back down, third wave. You can see it in the RSI, and the fourth wave. You can see how this fourth wave right here, that's Doge's pattern with this wave, and here's this fourth wave right here of this wave, and then you can see the blast that it did right there. So in my opinion, with Dogecoin is going to be making a wave over here. It's just going to take some time to get sussed out with the market or economy conditions with the Fed over here, guys. So I think that's going to happen with Dogecoin probably sometime in 2023. Phantom is just based on the RSI data. it's doing a transition. It's actually looking pretty decent, and some opportunities definitely be coming up for Phantom. Followers of my channel have been playing Phantom right here, the 20 cents to the was that 42 cents, and then the 20 cents again up like right here. I mean, it's like this Phantom play right here. You had this, and then you had this, and then you have this again. So Phantom's done really well for me, and just here, and then played this short Phantom here. Short season was fun through here. It's becoming a little more challenging, obviously, through here. It's been more bullish trades for Phantom in this area, but in 2023, I think Phantom's really going to do pretty well, guys. People asking about Chili's and ask me if I'm still bullish on Chili's. Look, at the end of the day, you can see right here is the third wave peak. This is the wave one. Chili's is in this area, okay? So it has to go all the way back down to 8 cents, all right? 8 cents, and break that to become bearish. And Chili's has a lot of room to go to break that. So about 46% almost, okay? So if it is in that area, that's just an opportunity. And you can see previously on its wave, you can see a wave here up, touched it, and then came back down with a throw under and got out of there. So it could be doing the same thing over here, guys. So just look at as an opportunity if it does get back down here. Okay, that's it. What's another coin? Look at, I'm just going to some general coins. Quant is basically the same thing with Quant. I don't think that Quant, it appears it's trying to go bullish, but just looking at this RSI data on the weekly or the daily here, you see how high it is in the RSI, not moving much in price. That is definitely questionable. Not being bullish, but a little bit more bearish. Nothing wrong with that. Quant could come back down to these areas, 95, and more likely maybe even 90, 95, making a really good opportunity for Quant, guys, if that happens. So still bullish on Quant long-term going into 2023. So I just want to put that all together for you guys, what I'm looking at and what's going on with Bitcoin and what I'm planning for going into the future. I think right now, the most important key ingredient right now is to have patience. People are getting bored out of the market. They're not interested. There's a lot of people that just hate crypto right now, and they're tired of waiting and waiting and waiting. I didn't expect this to go on this long. I thought by the end of the year that this would be finished by now. Obviously not. And it's going to be pushed out. It looks like at least another month, potentially even 2 months. And just get mentally prepared. It could go on longer too, unfortunately. Just have that in the back of your mind and plan accordingly on your assets that you want to get into. So, and also too, just other assets that actually look a little bit better than Bitcoin. As an example, Litecoin. I mean, Litecoin looks a lot better than Bitcoin right now, guys. So maybe the gains are going to be better in Litecoin than they are in Bitcoin. And I think so too. I think with the next wave run, you're probably looking at Bitcoin getting maybe a 2x, and with Litecoin, potentially even more. You could get maybe 3 or 4x out of it. So plan accordingly, look at the charts, keep track of the charts, and look for opportunities. That's what I'm going to be doing. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.